I guess I'll start with the first one, the judge.
The judge. Victims have all something in common, and the motives seem clear. Which suspect could have done it?
Balanced case, perfect for a first run. Okay, sounds good. Choose the difficulty modes. Story, balanced, or hard. Money will be easy to get by, the investigation will be easier, every action will take less time for a chiller experience. The way Nightcall was designed is balanced. Hard, money will be tighter, the investigation will be harder to solve, every action will cost more time. Well, if it's meant to be balanced, then I guess balanced. I was gonna do story because I thought it was just a story game, but I guess not. I'll do balanced. The doctor says, "Here? Sir, can hear me? Or do I need to speak up?" "I can hear you just fine, buddy." Oh, son of a bitch, why did it show a fucking option so late? That's annoying. Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? I mean, I don't know. As soon as I press A, is it gonna pick a fucking choice I didn't see before? I have to hold A for a choice. Yes, it's fine. She takes a deep breath. "Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma." The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning.
Coma?
The word scratches along your throat. "Yes, you were the victim of an assault." The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as the police call the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver, and in most circumstances it would have been fatal. We chose to put you in an induced. Her voice becomes more distant and fades. You taste bile at the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. What about my passenger? Am I a taxi driver? I'm gonna say nothing. The doctor was silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts her attention. You try to turn your head to no avail. "I speak good English. You need to rest." She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. "I don't care. He's the only witness. He's..." Another female voice joins in. A strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you've never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later.
Night 1.
Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. A pounding headache. It's the first night behind the wheel since the attack. Boss, are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. Stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. Sorry. Some things to get back to normal, to clear my head and stop thinking about it all. Watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know? I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet. Again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired. Gone back to the old country. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me. To hire guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you waiting for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points at the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Yeah, I can go take a tutorial. Yeah, good idea. Right then. First, the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. The other fares. You look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. Then, you drive. Flashes a quick, mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. That's all. It's pretty simple. No reason why you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. Might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're gonna do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while as he's hesitant to speak. Then, bam! I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer's still out there, and we think he's gonna come back. To you. We. He doesn't know who I am. Maybe. The boss pulls himself up a little straighter. You can sense he's trying to control himself, trying not to get upset. Maybe he'd been told to go easy on you. He holds your gaze and turns away. You know, I could put you on shift, or send you out on the suburbs, away from it all. You shake your head no. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. You can count on me, boss. Yeah. Scratches that invisible stain on the armrest. Yeah, I know. That's the problem. He smiles. And he leaves. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and into the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you. Consciously or unconsciously. You are Brandon. You sit there a moment. Then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you missed that feeling. It's back to the night shift. Back to life. Despite the attack. Despite it all. And that's today's episode of Narration with Quan. Oh, that's a lot. So, what is this one? Oh, it's just not showing up yet. Well, you're closest, so I'm gonna get you. Distance 7.38. Fare 25. Yeah, I'll do it. You immediately recognize the next passenger getting in your vehicle or in your taxi. You never watch television, rarely listen to the radio. You don't read the newspaper, and yet you know Francois de la Nere's face. I don't know. I don't speak that language. I'm sorry. I know. Polemicist, novelist, columnist, politician too. You think? Your passenger distractedly gives you his address. You start driving. Are you bothered by any of these protest marches? This question washes over you. You forgot that during the day people were holding protests. I work nights. Ah. He doesn't know how to follow up. A moment goes by before he yelps. Ah! See? There's not much chance they'd come to protest at 3 a.m., eh? It's not really surprising, actually. They want to make change, but only when it's convenient. Not during vacations, not on weekends, not at night. They make fun of us in other countries. France, the land of strikes, the land of protest marches. This country's filled with jackasses, slackers, and simpletons. But they protest nonetheless. I know what you mean. I'm gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let them just talk. Take the United States, for example. They have no right to strike. It's do or die. Spit flies from his mouth and disappears somewhere on the back seat. They didn't become the most powerful country in the world by going on strike all the time. He snickers. His notebook appears in his hand and he begins to write. Strike, protest, unrest. While businessmen and manufacturers are working around the clock. French people should be ashamed. Take a look in the mirror and decide to change, to do something. They expect too much from life. They want to have their cake and eat it too, and bite off more than they can chew. He catches his breath. Froth begins to foam at the corners of his mouth. And meanwhile, the world keeps turning. While the strikers twiddle their thumbs, workers are working. No, struggling to get the job done. That's better. Idiotic protest marches. The Frenchest thing and the stupidest. You have to look the masses in the eye and say, you do not own the streets. You shall not wield them like weapons. He suddenly raises his eyes and looks at you. They are unfocused and his complexion is deathly pale. Are you okay? Your passenger's gaze wanders somewhere beyond the windshield. I just remembered that. I once marched. It just came back to me like an old childhood memory. I can see it clearly. From Versailles to Paris. I can picture the banners, the songs, and the people's faces. There were so many of us. We got up at dawn, thousands of us. We marched toward the capital. Our pure and wholesome voices rose up. His voice shakes a bit. What were you marching for? So protesting's okay then? Or say nothing? What were you marching for? It was a cry from the heart of the right for high-quality religious education while France was being crushed by the way of socialism. We were being ideologically purged, completely decimated. It was the end of the parochial schools. God damn, he uses too many big words. I feel dumb as hell trying to read what he says. The end of our culture as we knew it. His voice trembles. Did you win? Yes, we won. I kinda wanna say some protest seems okay. But no. I'm gonna say it. His forehead pitches forward as if his head were too heavy. We weren't being heard. We weren't being respected. Perhaps you were right. A single finger interrupts the conversation. We didn't go on strike. We didn't bother anyone with our banners or our gatherings. And yet, we still won. He sighs contentedly as you pull the taxi up along the sidewalk. Those are the days. It was a great time. Left was running the country. He leans in towards you like he's about to tell you a secret with a smirk on his face. And I mean the real left, eh? He pays and he gets out of the car. You can hear him talking to himself as he walks towards the front door of his building. What a lovely night. Good luck to you tomorrow. With all these protest marches, it's going to be a messy one. He's gone before you have time to remind him you only work nights. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. The last passenger must have left it behind, or the one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You start driving. Thank you for the money. Did he not tip me shit? Oh, you fucking cheap bastard. Fuck you. Who's farther? You're really close. I'm guessing yellow is important. But you're really far. You're right back from where I just came. Who are you? You look suspicious. I'm probably gonna choose you next. Claudia Campos. Distance 10 kilometers. Damn! You're going far as fuck. You're gonna use up my whole night. 35 bucks. Yeah, I don't know the distance, the fare per distance ratio, so I think that's good. Pick up your next passenger in the front of the Paris office of the medical examiner, the morgue. When she gets in, you're surprised. How could she be a suspect? Her face, beautiful and soft, doesn't go with her clothing, her hairstyle, or her attitude. She gives you her address and you start driving. Her voice is dry, frank. She has an accent you have trouble determining. South American, maybe? She seems far away, lost in thought. A few seconds go by and she still hasn't taken so much as a look at you. Is everything okay? She almost jumps out of her seat and looks like she wants to disappear. Yes, everything is fine. That accent again, the one you can't place. Long day? In a manner of speaking. Some days are harder than others. Some days take more out of you. They're more demanding than others. A sad smile runs across her face like a shooting star. A second goes by, slowly. Very slowly. And the meteorite explodes. Passenger breaks down. I'm gonna let her cry. Between stops, you hear her say something. Give me a minute, please. Without a word, and without the slightest noise, you slow down. The road passes by slowly, in no hurry. After a moment, she sits up. Can I ask you something? You nod. She takes a deep breath. This may seem like a ridiculous question, or at least a stupid one. Actually, it's completely stupid. You give her an encouraging smile. But I'd like you to hit on me. Really? She blushes and immediately follows up. I mean, not for real, just for play. Like we're at a bar, like you want to buy me a drink. She shakes her head. Forget it, it's stupid. Totally stupid. I got you. Sure. Moment of silence. She seems surprised. Really? Yeah, I got you. You don't mind? I thought you'd refuse. I just have a few rules, if you don't mind. First, I don't want to talk about Argentina, my home, my parents. Avoid the subject. She pauses. Does that work for you? Yeah, of course. You nod. Good. Second, I don't want to talk about work. I'm a medical examiner. Do you know what that is? Yeah, I know what that is. I cut open dead bodies. I said I know what it is. I know. Take out bullets, tumors, cirrhosis-filled livers. First, people are always fascinated, but they quickly get disgusted. So, nothing about work. Let's start, if you're ready. You nod. We're in a bar. It's not very late. Not very late, but we're the only ones there. Alone at the bar, finishing a drink and get up to leave. Silence. Please, go ahead. Meeting on a passenger. This is definitely a first. You gotta find a good line, something that will set the tone. Straightforward. You wanna go back to my place and woohoo? Bold line. I don't know. Romantic line. Hey girl, you from Tennessee? You're the only 10 I see. Or polite line. Hi, beautiful. How are you? That's probably me. Or my version of the romantic line. It's actually probably me. Why is there not a shitty pickup line? I'm sorry, I'm wasting too much time. Let's do polite. I'm polite. Excuse me. Yes. Her voice is softer, her accent stronger. May I join you? Of course. She sits up a little and points to the imaginary bar next to her. Buy me a drink? Of course. How about a little game? You look like the kind of guy who drinks cocktails. I do love cock. Something sweet. I could be wrong, but... What about me? What is my kind of drink? She rolls the R on the last word. What is my kind of drink? Your kind of drink? Normally women like sweet shit, but like, she cleans dead bodies. I'm gonna give her something strong. She blinks. What do you mean by that? Oh no, I'm wrong! Drink to forget. Mind yourself. You're trying to forget something. She stares at you. Maybe. She purses her lips. Maybe I tried to. She stares at you. Something about her posture and her back seems to think time goes by too slowly. I do. Wait. Hold on. Get bored. Like it ought to go faster. Things to speed up. She relaxes, giggles. She's letting go. She looks at you, expectantly. I kinda wish I could mix the first two. Say, your laugh is beautiful. What do you do for a living? No, can't do that one. She said not about work. Like the way you laugh, you are beautiful. I saw you across the bar, I thought you were beautiful. That's what I want to say. She jumps with surprise. You think so? And yet, she looks at herself. You understand she's no longer playing the game. I swear. I'm sorry if... No. She attempts to use her voice to gain control of her body. Thank you. I think I needed to hear that. He flashes you a smile. You got a dick now? No, I'm just kidding. I know. Typo. She closes her eyes and stays that way for a little while. A smile settles on her face. A warm, natural, uncontrolled smile. That's not at all what I had in mind, but she nods slowly. I hope you weren't too shocked by my little game. I really needed it. All of it. The words. Will you see the shooting star again? You scan her face. She smiles. Your passenger sighs contentedly. She seems happy. Relieved. Pull up in front of the address she gave you. It's strange. What's that? There's something different about you. You're not like other men. As if... She hands you her fare and slips you a tip. Don't refuse it, please. It means something to me. You nod. I hope to run into you again. You shiver. Why do I shiver? One last smile. Goodbye. She gets out of the cab. You watch her until she disappears into her building. $11 tip? I'll take it, thank you. God, that's so far from the rest of the town. Oh shit. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? Oh fuck, hold on, achievements in the way. I'm sorry. For a second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you, her voice creaks. Remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you. Something not so nice. Dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it because I was sure you lied to us. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm gonna be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like, you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah. Between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No. I think he's more interested in your profile. Prison at 17. Icy chill fills your gut. Oh, and for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. They get word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car, meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. Personally, I like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I give you info, victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit gross. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Capiche? Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up in a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get me more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. I'll let you know if I have any new info. She gives on a didactic, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. Did you know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag, you cover your tracks well. She acknowledges your silence with a nod. Okay. I think you've got a handle on our little deal. Any problems? I turn you in. I'll send your picture of all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest and spend nights in jail. Do you have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. I'm nothing like that terrorist. I'm just gonna keep saying nothing. I don't like how she's talking, and I don't like the options that I'm given. She takes on a serious tone, business-like. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life. With a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Rips open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. You have plenty of reason to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. Investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right. Don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. I glare at her. For what it's worth, it was a pleasure not to be interrupted every other minute. Can't imagine how much I miss that at work. She puts her hand up, and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more until tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Fucking bitch. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running, radio on, crackles. Turn it off and start driving. Is that the end of my first night? Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. 6 clues discovered. That was a pretty good first night. I like it. I like it. Is there like a... oh, okay, so I'm going back to my room now, so I'm gonna assume that's a... That's a little creepy, man. Alright. This is where I like piece all my clues and shit together, I'm assuming. Take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. Throw the files Busted gave you on the table. Busette. I'm gonna call her Busette. On the wall, you hung up the big cork board where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... You know. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into the situation. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. It's time to get moving on your investigation. Okay. Okay. Honestly, I think that's a really good ending for like the first fucking day. So, shit, that's the end of this one. I'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching.